This is now a glass bed. You can see that it's quite a little bit smaller than the actual bed itself, and it's got some 3M heat transferred 3M adhesive tape on with some PEI sheet. So obviously raised the bed height a little bit, and there are some retaining clips at the front and also at the rear. The problem is that the 00 printhead position is right here, and so when it does an auto home, it tries to home outside the glass. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we change the software so that when it does an auto home, it actually homes in a safe position. So let's turn it on. And so this is the Marlin firmware. If I go into prepare, I go into auto home, what we'll see is it'll come to X and Y, but then before it actually does a home in the Z axis, it will actually move to the center of the bed. So let's see that. So it'll home X, it'll home Y, currently it's outside the bed position, and then it will move to the center of the bed, which is 100, 100. You can set that position to be anything that you want, and now it's actually in a safe home position. It hasn't hit any of the brackets during the home. So to see how that's actually done in the firmware, we have the firmware loaded here. This is configuration.h, and if I scroll down with configuration.h to the section called homing, there I've still got this bed center disabled. I haven't specified any of the manual X, Y, Z, and if I have a look at the safe homing, it's enabled the safe homing here, and it specified it to be the X position to be half the maximum. It's 200, so 200 divided by 2 is 100. And the same for Y, so X and Y, that'll be the center of the bed. If I wanted it to home like X, Y being 2020, I could in fact do that, and that would home, that would make that the home position, the homing point, if you like, for Z when it performs a homing the Z axis. Alright, so that's relatively easy to do, and just a matter of uploading that, defining Z safe homing to be enabled, and you can specify whatever point you want within the bed from 0 to 200 for either the X, Y, and I've left it at 100, 100, and I've played around with 2020, which 2020 is about here, so as well sort of clear of the clips, and that works fine.